You don't know what's going to come through the door next. Well, look what just came in this week. I've got a 1958 Edsel. I got a 71 Ford Maverick that's being raced at the track. He revs his engine to 7,500 RPMs.
This is a car.
Welcome to Nick's Garage. Here I am, another working day at the shop. I've got a few cars that keep coming in and out every day, but you know what I say sometimes, you don't know what's going to come through the door next. Well, look what just came in this week. I've got a 1958 Edsel right here. Station wagon. It's called a Edsel Villager. It's got a V8 E400 361 cubic inch. It is part original, part not, and whatever, I don't know. I'm gonna go through some details because I just got the car. He's got a few items done on it. For example, he's put aftermarket wheels. He's got some tricks inside, or underneath the hood, he's put a HEI, but I'll get to that in a minute. My client brought it in here because he has a lot of noisy lifters or noisy walkers, I'm not sure. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna park it to the back of the side of my building. I'm gonna work it outside because I think we're getting better weather lately. My client doesn't mind that we're gonna leave it outside. So anyways, I'm gonna back it up, and our job is to fix the noisy lifters. For example, is it a low oil pressure? Or the lifters shot? Are they finished? Or the rockers out of adjustment? I do not know. Anyways, we're gonna bring it to the back of the shop, which is the side where we're gonna work on, because the summer's here very soon. So let's take a drive out to the back. This is a very unique car, 58 Edsel, and I never had an Edsel in my shop. This is the first time when I get it started. And by the way, I want to say something, like I had 2 teeth pulled out last night, so if you see my mouth a little bit crooked, don't mind you guys. I'm in a little pain, but it doesn't matter. I still want to make this video for my viewers. But I want to tell you guys something. Look at this. It's an automatic vehicle, and it's got the push button right in the middle of the steering wheel. Boy, this is something unique. Wow. Now it's in park. So let's try putting it in drive. Here we go. Neutral, drive. Wow. It went into gear. Let's go. It's got power steering. Does it have a handbrake? Oh, perfect. Got the handbrake off. I didn't expect the handbrake to be working, that's for sure. All right, here we go. Oh, I remember these gadgets back in the 60s. This is one unique car. Look at this, you guys. This is totally different from what I'm used to working with. Okay, reverse. Look at that, right in the middle of the steering wheel. I just can't believe that. The motor's still running. When I noticed it's an FE 400, which is the FE motor 361 cubic inch. I'm just gonna try to squeeze in here. Here we go. Slowly but surely, I'll get there. Wow, station wagon. You know, I do work on a lot of classic cars, muscle cars, but this, I don't know what you want to call it, 58 Edsel Villager. It is a classic. It is an old car. I was 4 years old when this car was built. Okay, so we're going to put it on the side. This will be the first car I'm going to be working on this year. outside on the side of the building. The reason I'm doing this is because sometimes with these old cars, you get parts, we don't know what we need for this car right now. So my goal is to find out what I need and need to order. But sometimes these parts take forever to come in. And you know, you have a car like this in the shop, takes up your space. And before you know it, you're stuck with a car in the garage for a long time. So for this reason, now that it's practically summertime, we are going to park it outside of the building on the side and work out from out here. So this is unique, man. Wow, this is too much. Wow, look at that. This is something, eh? Look at that. Look at the gauges. He's got a clock, temperature gauge, fuel gauge. Okay, you put something else. You know, it's pretty unique. It's still running. It is kind of noisy. Okay, let's go listen to the engine. Let's take a look. All right, we're gonna take a look at the engine right now. Check out, you guys. Look at it. This is the style of the 50s. Look at that. Big, heavy car. It's got a lot of moldings. It's got a lot of trim. You gotta admit, those cars back in the 50s and 60s had a lot of trim. Okay, let's open the hood. Let's take a look, Devin. Okay, so it's got an aftermarket booster, master cylinder, proportion valve. He's put a Edelbrock carburetor on it, HEI ignition, but it's here for this reason. Listen to the engine. Devin, you want to turn it off for me? So, my client went out and bought a camshaft. He thinks the camshaft's worn out. But before we go there, of course, you need to know that when you make oil changes on these old cars, they have a flat tappet cam, and for that reason, you got to have oil with zinc in it. So for this reason, we're going to first start by checking the oil pressure, because you know if you got low oil pressure, the lifters don't get filled with oil, and then you have space between the push rod and the rocker, it makes this noise. But we're going to start by removing the oil line on the car. Okay. On the engine, we're going to check the oil pressure. If it's not enough, we're going to look into the oil pump or the bearings or whatever. If not, if the oil pressure is good, then we're going to take off the valve covers and check out the rocker arm adjustment. And then we're going to take it from there. You know what really surprises me? He's got a car electric fuel pump that's gravity fed. And he's got it right up here at the top in the front of the car on the fender, and it's working. Very surprised. You know, when you have a gravity fed fuel pump, it's usually set below the tank in the back. You know, it's fed by gravity. But in this case, he's got it on the fender and it's still working. It sure surprises me sometimes. Anyways, here it is, 58 Edsel Villager. Look, it's got the wood grain. This is the way they were back in 50s.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of chrome in it, a lot of trim. It's got a metallic paint job on the roof. A lot of chrome, man, a lot of chrome. Oh, check out all these fancy stickers on the back window. Oh, he's been traveling around, eh?
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. Check him out. He's been to a lot of places, I guess.
He's
Been around.
The car was bought from Tetford Mines. I don't know if that's the original dealer.
Wow. I believe this car was sold brand new here in Quebec at La Bonte, Tetford Mines, Quebec. Wow. Here we got Massachusetts. Look at this. Look at that.
Tiki's.
I guess from what I know, back in the 50s and 60s, this was a typical hot rod. You put your surfboard on the roof. After all, it does have a roof rack. You can put your surfboard there. You want to go to the beach, go surfing. You can put all your camping equipment inside the back. It is a station wagon. They did not have any minivans then. And you know, I prefer a station wagon over a minivan any day. Too bad they don't make them anymore, but I sure love them, let me tell you. Any year, any model. Boy, does this car have character. And if anybody wanted to know Edsel was the son of Henry Ford, who designed this car on behalf of Ford. Was it a big hit? I don't think so. I don't know how many years they made them for, but it is a Ford product. It has a Ford engine. It is called a Villager because it's a station wagon. And after all, it is unique, it's rare. And look what I've got in my shop. This is not the kind of cars we work on very often, And we all know that I work with classic cars, muscle cars, and sometimes I work on race cars. Let's go to the shop, see what we got here. I got a 71 Ford Maverick that's being raced at the track. Our local racetrack, Naperville. He's a client of mine. Right now he's brought it in because he brought it in and he wanted to just refresh his engine. You know, he likes to refresh it every few years. So he's brought it in, he's asked me to take out the engine and change the springs, the rings, the bearings, go through it. You know, nothing wrong with it. Just doing an update on it to make sure because he revs his engine to 7,500 RPMs. This is a full race car. This car runs 920s in the quarter mile. All he does with it is race it at the drag strip. Anyways, he's here because he just wants to put an update on the engine like we do every few years. Or should I say my client, what he does every few years, he does opens it up, looks in the engine, see whatever is worn out, or maybe update the valve springs and whatever. So we've got it here now. So Vasili's gonna pull it out any minute. So I want to show you something that this is a full race car, you guys. Races a track, it's not a street car, and it's not something we do very often. But here, take a look. Vasily, you want to help me put the hood up? Okay. Okay, perfect. You know what? Start her up so they can hear it. Let's hear it. This is a Stroker Windsor engine. I believe it's a 406, he said? 406, something like that. Dark block. It's all racing Ford stuff in this thing, that's for sure. Making it sound like we're at the racetrack right now. It's got a lot of toggle switches there, right? Go ahead, Vasily, start her up. You guys, you've seen the inside of a race car? Roll bar, one seat. Check this out. Racing shifter and all. Okay, Vasily, I'll hold the door. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead. This is one beautiful car, 71 Maverick. I used to own one back in the years, a long time ago. I had one for, not for racing, but driving it for the winter. It was a 6-cylinder, but you know what? It ran like a champ, never let me down. And now years and years later, I've got a race car, Maverick. Here it is. All right, so I see Vasily is he's ready to tackle it. So Vasily, what do you say? You gonna take it out?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's take it out, open it up, and see what's worn out, see what he needs. You know, he wants to do an update on everything. You know, it's part of a racing thing. You know, when you go racing and you beat an engine to 7,500 RPMs every weekend, you know, there's a lot of wear and tear. So you have to go through the engine every few years. So my client Clint came in, told me, Nick, I do it all the time. So now this year he's giving us the opportunity to tear it down, check it out, put it back together and put it back in the car. You know, you don't usually see this on the street. You got a V8, 400 plus cubic inches, baby little radiator. Of course, this is for drag racing. You just aim it, shoot it down the quarter mile, and that's as far as it goes. You don't drive this in traffic. You got an air pump for the vacuum for the crankcase, electric water pump, big double pumper. Anyways, headers, open headers, no mufflers. It's got one seat, it's got a roll bar, it's got every gauge, every toggle switch. It's got also what do you call it, the roll bar is coming up to the front frame rails. So this is a true blue race car. What do you think, Vasily?
I like it.
Love it, eh? Just like your Chevelle.
Well, that's a little bit fashion.
No? Well, you race the Chevelle?
Yeah.
You only race it, you don't drive it in the street? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, there you have it, you guys. It's a race car. It's not an elimination of NHRA or any class like that. It's called bracket racing. You know, you take any car, it depends how fast you go. You know, for example, if one car does 10 seconds, the other one does 11 seconds, and you line up these two cars together, in bracket racing, the one that does 10 seconds is going to give a 1 second head start to the 11-second car. So at the end, it all depends on how fast you take off, who accelerates faster on the light, better acceleration, better traction, and who gets to the finish line within the limit they dialed in. And if they go above the time limit that they dialed in, they win if you got first over the line. If they went under, you're disqualified. So that's bracket racing. So Vasily's right now about to take out the engine. We're going to start draining all the liquids. Then we're going to start bolting the torque converter, the headers, the ignition, the radiator, and slowly but surely we'll take off the carburetor, put the lift plate, and lift the engine out. He's got a transmission cooler. He's got little driving lights here.
I like the frame.
And look at it.
Look at this. Nice and
Wow, look at that. He's changed like a different subframe on this, eh?
Wow.
And also he's converted to rack and pinion.
manual.
Coil over shock absorbers. This is all racing stuff, you guys. Check it out.
Nice.
Nice work, eh?
Very nice.
Tubular control arms. Upper and lower. Let's see what else. Open headers. It's got a small transmission with the aluminum deep pan. Frame connectors. Dry shaft loop.
Ladder bars.
Ladder bars.
Wow, this is nice.
Look at that. 9-inch rear end.
Nice.
Now this is a professionally built race car. It does what do we say? It does 920s in a quarter mile.
Nice.
This is a solid car. Look at that.
That's where I got my dry shaft.
Is that right? There it is. No, very nice. This is a full race car. Oh yes, by the way, check out this unique thing, you guys. Come over here. This is something unique with a lot of my clients in the shop. When they see a race car, they ask me, Nick, why are there screws on the rim? I tell them, you guys, this is to prevent the rim and the tire when you accelerate so hard that the rim does not spin and the tire sticks to the ground. So you got to make sure they work together as a united one piece. And for the reason they put screws, you cannot have the rim slip inside the tire. And there you go. When you put screws into that, you have a good bite. Vasily, what do you think of this car, Vasily?
Nice. Beautiful. Very beautiful. I love it.
Nicely set up, isn't it?
Yeah, beautiful.
And you know, I've seen him on the racetrack a few times. We go sometimes on the weekend at Naperville, and Clint is there racing. My brothers are there racing. And it's a nice way to pass the weekend, eh? Take a race car to the track and go racing all day. Can't beat that.
Okay.
Sure beats it when we're staying in the shop all the time working, let me tell you.
I really like. It's a real professional job. Like you see some cars that are like that, and you see some other cars that you can tell like the nice job, you know. And this is very nice. Really nice car. I love it, man. I love it.
Yes, you know, it reminds me of the days when I used to have a car, I used to race at the racetrack. It was only for racing. We used to put it in a tow truck, put it in the back of a pickup with a trailer, tow it to the track on the weekends, this and that. And you know, they were designed just for racing, not to be driven from miles and miles on the road. Like this one here, for example, is a race car. That's what Clint uses it for. But it sure brings me back some memories when I used to go racing. You know, I still try to take a break sometimes, go to the racetrack with my brothers when they go racing on the weekend. Also my nephew with his Hellcat. It's fun, you know, to get a break from the shop, go on the weekend, go to the racetrack, spend the day there, join the gangs, meet your customers, meet your friends, meet all the racers. And it's nice to pass on a drag strip, passing it all day long with fast cars. It is exciting, let me tell you. And you know what? I don't know when the track's going to open up this year, but with this pandemic, who knows? But you know, hopefully soon that everybody can get together and let's all go racing. we're gonna drain all the liquids. He's drained the oil pan, now he's gonna drain the cooling system. Then after that, we're gonna take out the motor mounts, the headers, the torque converter, the starter, and well, disconnect the torque converter, I should say. Remove the starter, torque converter screws, the housing, and then the carburetor, then put the lift plate and pull it out. You know, it's not like doing a street car that has air conditioning and all the accessories, so many options. This is just a simple car, a couple of hoses, a small radiator, electric fan, well, headers of course, and besides that, it's all gonna go well. If anybody's asking what these are wheelie bars. You know, when you have a car that accelerates very hard, you don't want it to flip. So it's got wheelie bars in the back to hold the car from flipping over so it accelerates, and it leans on the two back wheels. It keeps the car at a certain angle and then carries it down the drag strip. Isn't that something? You don't see that on a street car, let me tell you. If you take this drivetrain, powertrain, put it in that Edsel, it's gonna tear the car apart, let me tell you. That's for sure.
It needs to be reinforced.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna bring it down, Gabriel.
You know, this is pretty unique. How often you see a Ford Maverick? Very rare. They sure don't make them anymore, that's for sure. You know, it's a good idea sometimes to take pictures before you remove an engine, but you want to put it back in the same way. So Vasily here is taking a few photos. Make sure that sometimes, you know, you forget how to put things back together. Or
it's not something that we do every day. It's not like a matching numbers car that we do that every day. It's something different, you know?
That is correct. That is correct. You know, this is it's a personalized setup. So we want to put it back in the same way we took it apart. I see we got Gonzo on the roll bar back there. Check him out. I think he tags along with the ride every drag race. He must have a ride and a half, let me tell you. You know, every time we open up fuel lines or anything, we always cap them off or tape them up so nothing goes in, nothing comes out. So, you know, the car's gonna go in storage for a few weeks until we finish building the engine. So the car's gonna leave tomorrow, it's gonna go in storage for a couple of weeks. After we go through the engine, build it, we're gonna call the client back in, bring it back in to the shop so we can have it ready for installation again. So Vasily's gonna start from top down. She'll start removing the carburetor, a few brackets, a few lines, radiator hoses, the exhaust headers, spark plugs. You taking them out, Vasily?
I'm gonna take them out so I can turn them on after.
That's it. Yeah, take out the plugs so you can turn the
motor for the
you know, this is a very high compression motor. So to take out the torque converter screws, you gotta crank the, we're gonna turn the engine by hand, or so with a ratchet off the harmonic balancer, so we can take up the screws for the torque converter. And that is the reason why we're gonna take out the plugs, the spark plugs, so Vasily can turn it easy and remove the bolts. Then after that, slowly but surely, we're gonna separate the engine from the transmission. Me, I like things like this one, they're nice, eh? Really neat, clean, man. What's this, Vasily? Where does this go?
It goes on the hat. On the.
Oh, yeah? I didn't see that.
But I won't touch them, so.
No, leave it with that, don't worry. It's good. You want me to get you some boxes?
A little box.
I'll get you some boxes. We've got to pull this engine out today because my client's coming tomorrow with his pickup and trailer to take the car back home until we finish building this engine. So we got to get this motor out as of today. So Vasily, keep going, buddy. Vasili's just about to remove the air pump right here. Nice aluminum solid piece here. What you find on a race car. Right there, look at that. Oh, look at that, all nice and shiny. Yeah, leave him there, yeah. Leave the bolts loose on that and we'll say, okay. He's got top quality parts in this car, let me tell you. Everything's good, very good. Whoever built this car in the first place did a great job. Very good. You know, he's made his tie downs. I noticed that everything's gapped. They're strapped down perfectly, nothing is stretched. Everything is spaced away evenly. Very nice job. Whoever's done this job did a great job. I gotta give him credit. It's not even a sponsored race team, it's just an individual that has his car and races it on his own. And he enjoys it. It's got no names backed on or any major sponsors. You gotta give him credit. After all, building a car like that is not cheap. I'm going to keep this for sample, okay? Oh, these are special gaskets. Always keep the old gaskets. Sometimes when it comes to looking for the new ones, it's always nice to compare what came off the car. So I'm going to keep them, look for a number, and reorder the exact same kind. Yeah.
Maybe pull it out now for the top converter.
Yes, sir. I hope it doesn't come over the torque converter.
I hope so.
I hope not. Yeah, it's gonna stay there. You know what, Vasily? Wiggle it and the torque converter is gonna stay there, okay?
Okay, wait. Okay, we're good.
We're good? Yeah, no. That's okay, let it drain. Don't worry about it. Okay, guide me out, buddy. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Watch the header. Okay, I'll pull it towards me a bit.
You can go up, just go up.
Yeah?
Straight up.
Okay.
Just so you do it.
The header's cleared.
Yeah. Pull it towards you a little bit. A little more.
Oh.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, all the way up.
All the way up.
Oh yeah. I'm probably gonna let it drain a bit after.
Let it drain, don't worry.
Let me fill the motor first.
Okay. Okay. It's all good. We're gonna wash the floor in a minute. There it is. There we go. Now you can drain it, do whatever you wish. Oh, wow. Hey, foreheads, eh? Oh, he's got plates. Look at that. That's why the gasket was weird.
I wonder why.
It's got a plate between the headers and the cylinder head.
Why is that?
I don't know. We'll look into it. It's got a dart block. You see that dart block? These are good beefed up blocks, man. That's the same block as we have the one on the 468 that we had in storage. All Fords come with this plate, okay? Between the flex plate and the block. Wow, yeah, silicone here, right? Looks pretty good. Okay, now we just gotta find an engine stand. So there you have it. We got the 58 Edsel parked in the back, so we can get working on that very soon. We pulled the race engine out of the 70 Maverick. I'm gonna go home, put some ice on my cheek so I can feel better and continue tomorrow. And you guys, thank you for watching NewAge Garage. And you guys, if you look down below the video, we have a whole bunch of merchandise that you guys can buy. So whatever you like, buy it, love it, wear it, and enjoy it. And help spread the word of NewAge Garage. And if you have some time, check out our Patreon page. We have extra content and you guys can watch it and take it from there. And we'll see you next time.